Right then, so talk about setup first. Previously your setup before was a little bit kind of in the middle, in the fact that everything was kind of like lined up to the centre. Left hand was a little bit weak as a result of that, because you're bending your left arm. The fact that your right hand is on the grip lower than the left hand means your left shoulder should be a little bit higher to help with that grip better. If your right hand is extended and your left hand is up high, you see my left arm sort of bending in here, make it very tight. And again, you see quite tense with that grip, and then as a result of that, because you haven't got the freedom through your shoulders, your hands and arms, you're always swinging that now with your torso and your hips all locked together. Never going to get any speed, okay? So you want to try and go through this sequence now, okay? Putting the club down, it will unblur in a second, just get the camera set, okay? So put it in your grip. There, okay? So put it in the left hand there. So your thumb now is just off to the side there, okay? Feet are closest together, okay? So you're creating this grip now there with that left hand. And you can see sort of both your thumbs are sort of just hanging down, very natural, okay? And obviously your shoulders you'd see here now are level because your hands are level, okay? Now as you bring the hand onto the golf, you bring the club back in front here, now your right shoulder goes down there a little bit to put the right hand on, okay? And then we get to the golf ball. When you set to the golf ball there, now we've now got, clear them lines, we've now got this sort of shoulder tilt there we want. The left hand now, we can see the logo of that glove a bit more clearly, okay? I'm in a much more kind of efficient position. Now on occasions that ball did get a little bit further back, whether because you just move your head back and you kind of move the ball back with you, possibly, okay? If you start getting the ones that go a little bit high, roofing them, the ball's a bit too far back and you're catching the ball as the club comes down. We want to be swinging this golf club so we're hitting the golf ball a little bit more on the shallower way up. If the ball's back here too far, you're in down on it and you get that. So you're on the range or in the course practicing and the golf ball starts going super high, kind of up here like 100 yards, just monitor your ball position, okay? It may have crept back a little bit as a result, okay? But then in terms of the swing, once you get to the top of the backswing, okay, and you'll see now with the better grip, I've not said anything about your length of backswing, I just improved your grip, so I'm not thinking about it. Look at the difference in length of backswing. That's your backswing there. Hang on. There. Look how much further that club's gone. I mean, that club's gone beyond your head. Just because now you're able to hinge and you're a lot softer, the body can move more supplely and it can make a better move. And again, if you're able to turn that right shoulder back here, it's a lot easier now to keep it back there as you start coming down. As you start unwinding, keeping that shoulder back as long as you can. Your hands are now coming back into a similar position they started. And now we can just release onto that left side with a nice kind of efficient movement, head staying nice and stable on that sort of little blue speck on the screen there. Good release of the arms while staying behind the ball, as you saw, going 202 with a nice little draw. So definitely some potential there. And the movement now, I think, is more natural without having to think about it. Your only real thought at the moment, Gary, is going through this setup thing and getting that. So just to run through, it's going to be feet together, okay? Club just in your left hand, hanging down from your left side, okay? If you put your left arm across here too much, you'll tend to put your hand underneath and grip it weaker. So gripping in the left hand there, nice and sort of relaxed. Now in this case, you sort of put your hand to the club, as you'll see, okay? Your right hand will go and grab it, and you went, oh, hang on, no. I go put the golf club back first, and then you put the golf club back behind, okay? That'll just come through practice, and once you sort of disciplined and drilled this, it'll just become natural. You want to then bring your arm back to in front of you, and then you put your hand on. Otherwise, what will happen is you'll start moving your body into the hand, and then of course then...
It's just because obviously, let's say my hand's hanging down, so it's So we're like that.
That's right, and then you just bring your arm back in front of you.
So
There. That's it. Exactly. And when you bring your right hand on, the shoulder becomes.
I'm like this.
Okay. That's it.
Now I got to look at where the ball.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly. Well, I generally have the ball opposite your left foot. Just in front of you there.
Bringing that back. And then I'm bringing this on.
And then just getting your feet about shoulder width apart-ish, to be fair. Getting yourself behind the golf ball there, okay. And then from there, in terms of the swing, thought it's just about keeping this sort of trail shoulder behind your head there. Back as long as you can to get that sort of swish of that club. The club head speed's going to come from your body being quieter and that swishing sound like a slingshot or a whiplash, rather than you trying to hit it with your right shoulder, which from a rugby's perspective is what all rugby players are tend to go with their shoulder. That's just innate, to be fair. And that will certainly take some practice, and I will 100% confirm that in the future going forward, there will still be times when you make it a little bit harder, and you just use your right shoulder, because that's just instinctive to you, okay? But as long as when you do that, you go, I did that wrong. And you'll know the reasons and why.
I can see
can make some
adjustments.
adjustments.
See that there, and you know, I mean, that showed it, didn't it?
What can't speak, can't like it. I mean, yeah, I mean, for me, that's, I mean, if we can start, I mean, okay, everyone will go that. If we can get your drives from sort of like 190 to 210, that sort of ballpark figure, averaging around say 195, 200 in the fairway. That's the important thing. Isn't it? I mean, that ball's gone 6 yards offline. You had some drives before that were 140 yards, 60 yards offline, really. So they're no good to anybody. Okay, so keeping that body swishing through there. And I think in terms of shots and so on, if you get the odd bad shot, just think, okay, what sort of bad shot is it? Okay, if it's a slice, potentially a grip thing, double check your grip and go with that routine. Okay, if it's a high one, it's probably a ball position thing. Just check your ball position. Okay. Other than that, if you get a bad shot, sometimes go, okay, human error. Don't change any other things unnecessarily. That's the key thing.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, that kind of makes sense then, yeah?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, good.
It does.
Happy days. It'll be very, very good. I've got to say, impressive.